Luke Weaver, the new pitcher for the Yankees. Dalton Varsho bats for the Blue Jays and takes ball one. Weaver pitched in game 1 against Boston. He faced 3 hitters. They all reached base. Didn't retire a batter and took the loss in that game. And for Yankees bullpen, where it's a big question, Weaver's got to be good.
Yeah, Weaver, sneaky, just really good stuff, and run into a couple bad trends, but he was a big part of last year for the New York Yankees.
He was a closer by the time they reached the postseason. Caballero, as you see, stays in the game and plays third. But it's 3-0 from Weaver. 12 runs, 10 innings from the start of September through the first game of the postseason. A green light and a foul ball. So far, so good for the Yankees bullpen today. Tim Hill, Camilo Doval, 3 1/3 scoreless innings after Luis Hill went just 2 2/3. On a 3-1, Varsho takes ball 4 and has a leadoff walk. Well, for the Blue Jays, getting to the postseason has not been the problem. They do it for the 4th time in 6 years, clinching the division and the top seed in the American League. But they've lost their last 7 postseason games, 3 consecutive wild card sweeps. They're trying to win a postseason game for the first time since 2016, and then they set their sights on winning it all. Back-to-back titles in '92 and '93. They hang championship banners in blue. The division title banners hang in white. Those are nice, but folks around here think that this team is special. They could add a 3rd blue one. Varsho at first for Santander. He's had a couple long at-bats today. Ball and a strike.
I was part of that 600 years ago, 1992 blue banner.
What was that like pitching here?
Oh, man, it was. I loved it because obviously it's a dome. Conditions are perfect when you pitch.
Santander with a base hit to right field. Varsho heads for 3rd with Judge's throwing issues. They're going to push the envelope. Judge still dealing with that sore elbow. And there was no question Varsho is going to turn the corner and advance. Judge went on the injured list at the start of August with a sore elbow, and for the first month or so after coming back exclusively DH, but that log jams him. You can't have Stanton in the lineup if that's the case in a perfect scenario. So Judge, the best lineup, puts him back out there in right field, and they will deal with what they have to with his arm issue. Miles Straw into the game to pinch run at first. Jimenez, by the way, a decent bunter, and the Blue Jays bunt more than any team in baseball. They play a little small ball here, try to squeeze in a run. Although at this point, the idea of giving it out to Weaver doesn't sound like a great idea either.
Now, I've said it a million times when I was an active player sitting on the bench watching a lot of games, going a double play to second base gets us an extra run. And you don't want to think like that, but if you don't put it in play, you go from an inning where you can score a run to much like what the Yankees did, bases loaded, nobody out, only got 1, and that was on a bases loaded walk.
The Blue Jays, the best team in baseball, getting guys in from 3rd with less than 2 outs. Infield pulled in. Strike 1. Home run from Guerrero in the first, home run from Kirk in the second. Nothing doing since. Toronto looking for insurance. Weaver looking for an out. Is 0-1. Getting the ground and through. It's 3-1 Blue Jays as Andres Jimenez drives in Dalton Varsho. Bottom of the order getting the job done for the Jays. And it's an instant replay for Luke Weaver. 3 hitters, they all reach. 3-1 Jays, still nobody out. Cruz comes into the game. Fernando Cruz, who they could not get in there soon enough. Weaver just didn't have it again. Cruz has. We saw a great splitter from Kevin Gausman. Fernando Cruz also has one of the best splitters in baseball.
Yeah, fastball, sinker, slider, splitter.
It's Clement. 2 on, nobody out. And Cruz trying to get Clement to show his hand there, see if he's squaring. Top of the order into Springer on deck. Running the bank here, walking 2 singles against Weaver. He does square and he bunts it back to Cruz, who will go to third in time, over to first. Not in time, but they get the lead runner.
That was a great job by Cruz. I mean, he pounced off the mound. What you're trying to do as a hitter, you want to bunt it to the third base line. It's indefensible. The runners will get over, but the high pitch allowed him to bunt it more towards the pitcher. And you work on this play 100 times in spring training, but when it's in the postseason, it ain't spring training.
And you also wonder about Cruz, who goes 1,000,000 miles an hour at all times on that play, but does a good job of harnessing it and getting it over to Caballero. Top of the order, and Springer is hitless here in game 1. Yep. Got a chase on that splitter. The #1 swing and miss pitch in the sport this year. Fernando Cruz, a 35-year-old from Puerto Rico. Ball. Didn't get to the major leagues until he was 32. Drafted as an infielder.
And that may be why, if he gets out of this jam, you'll see why. Pretty excitable.
Yeah.
Some say emotional.
Let's go over 1-1 to Springer. That's ball 2. Kansas City drafted him. He had a few seasons there as the infielder, could not hit, and so they converted him to pitcher. Had a brief stint in the Cubs organization, but then was away from baseball, at least affiliated baseball, for 2 years. Went to Indy ball. Said, I'm going to give it one more shot. Went to Mexico to pitch, and that's where the Reds discovered him and gave him his first chance just 3 years ago. Here's his 2-1 pitch. Springer fouls it off, and they got a chunk of Wells. Ow. He gets it.
They do a great job firing this crowd up here.
Yeah, they don't need a whole lot, but
no, they do a good job.
Yeah. 40,000+ sell out every post game of this division, or every home game of the division series, sold out in less than 30 minutes. 2-2 on Springer. Lays off, and the count goes full.
The one thing about Cruz is you can save your catcher's arm, because when he's done delivering a pitch, he comes over halfway to meet the catcher to get the ball.
Yeah.
That's how into it he is.
Straw at second. Jimenez at second. Clement at first. The payoff pitch. Springer takes ball 4 to load him up. Yankees were unable to take full advantage of their bases loaded opportunity in the 6th inning. Let's see if the Blue Jays can capitalize on theirs. Nathan Lucas comes up.
He better be able to pound a fastball for a strike if he wants to get him to continue to chase on that split, because that split has not been close enough.
Bases loaded, 1 gone, 7th inning. First pitch, Lucas takes outside. And a team full of contact guys. This is the guy with the best contact rate right here. On a 1-0 pitch, takes ball 2. Nowhere to put Lucas, and Guerrero Jr.'s on deck.
Yeah, this is easily the pitch of the night right now for the Blue Jays to either put severe distance between them and the Yankees. And this is the put away inning you want if you're the Blue Jays.
2-0. Ball 3. Strike.
Under the circumstances, this should be the best pitch he'll ever get to hit in the postseason right here.
It's a 3-1 from Cruz. Lucas swings, left one to the right field corner. It's down. It bounces to the wall. This place explodes on a 2-run double from Lucas.
Well, he didn't miss it, and it was a cookie right there at the top of the zone. And that's what you've got to do to take advantage of the stress and the situation. Toronto showing why 5 runs, when they score 5 runs, they're virtually unbeatable, and why they're so good at home.
3 in the bank here in the 7th, still just 1 gone. Smelling something that's they've not had nearly a decade to get their first postseason win since 2016. And now they're going to get greedy. Guerrero Jr. coming to the plate. Already 2 hits today, including a home run.
And I mean, typically you wouldn't pitch to him in this situation with a base open, but down 5-1, they're going to choose to see if they can get a couple chase or a ground ball with the drawn in infield.
Ball 1. The Yankees bullpen that gave up just 3 runs in the wild card round has given up 3 runs in the 7th inning. And it's 2 guys that they have to have perform for them, Weaver and Cruz.
That's outside.
Ball 2. Well, Guerrero Jr. set the tone today with a home run in the 1st inning. A diving play. All the questions swirling. Can Guerrero find it? Because he has really struggled the last month. And anytime they've been in the postseason, he has struggled.
Ball 3.
So far, so great in his first game of this postseason chance.
Still don't understand why they're not putting him on. It's 3-0 count. Nothing good can happen here. But they're going to pitch to him.
Wow! A 3-0 center cut fastball that he lofts to right center field. Grisham will make the catch. It'll bring in Springer and make it 6-1. Not only did they not put him on intentionally, they didn't even try to stay away from him. That was right down the middle. has that nearly unbeatable record you're talking about, 71-4 when they get 5 runs. That'll do it for Cruz. Paul Blackburn will come into the game. 6-1. The Blue Jays have exploded for 5 runs, or for 4 runs here in the 7th. Paul Blackburn is on to pitch. Addison Barger takes a strike.
Yeah, the 2 opportunities each team had for a big inning. One did it. The Blue Jays did it. Erupt here. And the Yankees are going to look back at that bases loaded, nobody out in a 2-0 game.
Fly to right field, got it off with a handle. Judge is back to put it away. Yeah, the Blue Jays do what the Yankees couldn't. They score 4 times in the 7th and a big lead to the 8th. Paul Blackburn stays in and Kirk leads off the 8th.
Ball 1.
Takes outside for a ball. And so the 2 teams that had to figure out how to navigate the bye, which you're going to take 10 times out of 10.
Yep.
The Brewers and the Blue Jays looking like they're going to go 2-0 today, and with the offenses clicking. Because that is the thing you worry about most. Can your bats stay hot with that weak layup?
Well, the early going, the National League had the hardest time figuring it out, with the exception of the Dodgers. The American League had done pretty good as of recent memory, but it's part of those things that over time I always thought would work itself out, because in the beginning it's such a culture shock to have those 6 days off.
Blue Jays said that they took a little something from the Dodgers. You mentioned the Dodgers after the delay last year, went and won in the division series against the Padres. What they did was try to simulate actual games. They brought in fans and played scrimmages. Blue Jays did that twice this week. Kirk lofts one to deep left field. He's got his 2nd home run of the game. And his 5th the last 3 games. 1 on Saturday, 2 in game 162, 2 in game 1. He's not necessarily known for the power.
No, he's not known. He'll be known after this postseason, though. Well, extension and gets out in front, gets that ball and hits it on a line. That got out quick.
And a little kiss from Alejandro Kirk. 15 home runs that he hit during the regular season. That was a career high. He needed 3 over the last 2 days to reach that.
So he told them, promise me when he gets off the bus that you will not call me until you see him hit. Kirk, listed at 5'8", 245 pounds, became a 2-time All-Star and a postseason hero today.
And he's saying the other day, look, my whole life, the other players look better than me. Kenny mentioned the get off the bus test. He always loses that. But Alejandro said, then I let my bat do the talking for me.
I mean, some guys are hitterish, right? You hear that term, that means they just know how to hit. Don't have to be mechanically sound in every way and look perfect as your body, but when you can hit, you can hit. And Tony Gwynn, obviously the best we ever had, and as he got up there, he wasn't exactly looking like the great athlete he was, and he showed it at the plate.
Blue Jays checking to see if this one hit him. If they want to challenge. And they will.
The hitter's telling you right away that that nicked him.
You get 2 challenges in the postseason.
Toronto has challenged. The previous play is under review.
They have not used one yet. Might as well take a look at this here. Replay review is presented by Zoom. Back to New York. They're going to get a good look. Problem for the replay room is the ball's the same color as that glove.
Yeah, that won't be the view they're going to use, but you can see when he took his hand off the bat that he felt like he got nicked. Right here is, I think, the best view. You can see just enough of that batting glove catching the end, maybe.
You know, the call on the field being that it wasn't hit. I don't know if there's enough there. They're all watching it like us. Not going to get any closer than this look.
The field is confirmed. The batter was not hit by the pitch.
Confirmed.
Toronto will have one challenge remaining.
All right, so not just call stands, call confirmed. And Andres is saying, well, then what did I feel? What do you mean confirmed? Batter's a really good actor. Paul Blackburn just over to the Yankees a little more than a month ago. He was with the New York Mets. They cut him loose. The Yankees picked him up. Pitched in a handful of games the last month. And here just trying to cover the last outs of this one. Preserve the pen for tomorrow. Swings away, swats it to left, and he'll take that anytime over a hit by pitch. Jimenez to second with an RBI double. Second hit of the day for Andres Jimenez.
Biggest difference in tonight is the location of all the hits that the Blue Jays have had and the lack of location that the Yankees have had. In other words, they have been pitched to much better.
Ernie Clement chases, and it's 0-2. Bottom of the order for the Blue Jays in this game. Awesome. Yeah, you've had the home run from Guerrero and a double from Lucas out of the 2 spot, but 5 through 9 in the order, 8 for 18 with 4 extra base hits. Clement chips one into center. That's Grisham for the catch. Here comes the throw home. Straw, who can fly, is in standing. A 9 spot for the Blue Jays in game 1. And the latest example of the Jays doing what they have to get the guy in from third. 2-1 game in the 6th inning. And you go to the top of the 6th, that's where the Yankees cut it to 1, had the bases loaded, nobody out, and settled for just the 1 run. The 2 innings since then, the Blue Jays with a 4 spot in the 7th and 3 more here in the 8th to turn it into a blowout.
1-1.
And Jeff Hoffman, who is the closer for these Blue Jays, and John Schneider not going to mess around, and it's also a spot to get him a little bit of work in a low pressure situation, postseason game, but not a situation where you can blow it.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's 2 schools of thought because they had the long layoff. You could see why you want to get him in, but at the same time, they get the Yankees to look at him in a situation where normally you wouldn't. So I understand, you know, pitching him in this game just because he hasn't been in game action for a while.
There you go.
It's all looking up for the Blue Jays. 9-1, the bottom of the 8th. 2 home run day from Alejandro Kirk. 12 hit output for the offense. 1-2 on Lucas. Taps the curve foul. It was Lucas's double that started the 4-run 7th. The only thing cold in Canada right now has been the Yankees. It's 75 degrees today. Defense is okay today, but the offense not there, and they have not been able to slow the Blue Jays offense. 10 ERA. The Yankees in this ballpark. Handed off to Fried tomorrow. Led the majors with 19 wins. Now the 1-2 to Lucas. Rolls it up the middle. Pass Bullpen into center. You just can't put these guys away. Lucas knocks in his 3rd run of the day. They've got double digits in game 1.
That was a better pitch, but better hitting.